I didn't even say anything yet. You're supposed to say. I wasn't going to start off my speech this way, but I actually think this is an appropriate thing to say. Tip O'Neill said that all politics is local, and I really do believe that change happens on a very local level. I'm sitting at table 24, and my soon-to-be brother-in-law, as of November 3rd, George Faith, used to chair the Manhasset Community Board Fund. He doesn't chair it anymore because the board decided to fund the Boy Scouts of America and rather be part of that organization that discriminates against our community. He gave up a position he worked very hard for, and I really want to appreciate and thank him publicly. We love you, George. One year ago, our community was dealt an extraordinarily crushing defeat when our state's highest court said that we didn't have the right to marry the person that we love. And 1 year later, despite being told by legislators and lobbyists alike that we couldn't win a marriage bill in Albany, despite being told that the governor of this state would never be the first governor in the country to introduce marriage equality legislation, and there was no possibility that Albany would even take up this issue so important to our community, we went from 35 votes in January to 85 votes in June, more than the 76 we needed, and we got it done. And so I know we have state senators here, and I was told people have a 2-minute attention span. So this is the most important message I could deliver. And this is to the state senators. It's either you get to a place where you can support our community, or in 2008, we will find people who can do that job. And don't think we can't do it. And if you question our resolve, just look at the army of people we have put together to support our community. 4 years ago, on this stage, we said that it was time we took back the pulpit from the religious right, and today I'm happy to tell you that 4 years later, Pride in the Pulpit boasts 650 religious leaders in 250 congregations, 28 different faith denominations all across New York State. By anyone's standard, we have taken the pulpit back in New York State. Four years ago, we said you can't win anything in Albany without organized labor on our side, and tonight I am happy to tell you that we have nearly 1 million New Yorkers who are part of unions that have written and adopted resolutions in support of marriage equality, and hundreds of thousands who are standing up for the transgender civil rights bill. Don't tell us this community can't work with organized labor, and many of them are in this room, and give them an applause tonight. Four years ago on this stage, we said it was time we bring corporate America into our movement. But rather than going out and shaming and blaming corporations for not doing right by our community, we would go into their boardrooms and HR offices and be an assistance to them to lift all workers up. And today, with lots of corporations in this room as part of my Pride in the Workplace, we have become a national model about how to work with corporate America and bring them into our union. And let's give the corporations in this room a big round of applause for standing up for us. I don't share these facts with you tonight because I'm enormously proud of the results we've made, or our incredibly talented staff that work hard every day to make it happen. I tell you this because I want you to know with all my heart that your money, the investment you are making in this movement, is being used well and it's getting results. And if you think it doesn't matter, I want to tell you with all sincerity, everything which we have accomplished this past year would not have been possible without you. These are your victories. We have a vision at the Pride Agenda, and the vision is simple. We want to see a day in New York when every New Yorker has the ability to reach their fullest potential regardless of who they were. And we know in this state that as long as we are denied any of the 1,326 rights and responsibilities that come with the marriage license, as long as any child in the state of New York goes to a school where he or she feels threatened because how they express their gender identity, as long as anybody gets fired from their job, kicked out of their home, or denied credit simply because of how they express their gender, there is a ceiling placed upon our heads, and we will not be able to reach our potential. You know, there's a narrative that's going around the country by some candidates, including those who are running for president. And here's what they'll try to tell us, and some are already doing it. They will say that the arc of history is long, and that in the history of this country, our movement is very small, and the progress we are making in our movement has happened at a rapid pace if you compare it to the other social justice movements in this country. And then they will tell you that we should be patient because at least we're making progress and that we will get there one day. I don't think any elected official or somebody who's not a member of our community should ever have the right to tell us that we should be patient and wait for justice, equality, and freedom. In fact, I would suggest to you that it's precisely because we have been impatient that we have gotten our legislators and our allies to do more than they thought was possible. And the rest of the country is watching us because if you haven't noticed it, there are not a whole lot of LGBT victories taking place around this country. So New York stands out, and it should stand out. Because I've been saying this all year, and this is the last time I'm going to repeat this quotation for those who have heard it. E.B. White said that New York was to the nation what the church spire is to the village, the visible symbol of aspiration and of hope, and that the white plume is saying that the way is up, not down, not backwards, not next to us, but up. Excelsior. It's time this community reminds New York how to be great again. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support.
It's time to